What's up, everyone? Mitchell Saltzman here at EVO 2025. I'm here with Mike Willette, executive producer of Invincible Versus at Quarter Up. How you doing, Mike?
Fantastic. I'm shocked I still have my voice, but it's been awesome. Yeah.
So one of the things I wanted to ask you, obviously a lot of people know you from Killer Instinct. What's it like coming back to the world of fighting games, you know, after so long, after the first season of Killer Instinct?
It's amazing. Like, it's just so much bigger. Like, have you seen this place?
Oh my God,
I was making the joke, I was like, they must have hid the Ark of the Covenant here. It is just the largest venue in this largest scene. It's like a celebration of everything fighting games, and it's just so exciting to be back here and be able to showcase this and, you know, meet new people and see some old heads too. So there's no words to really describe how awesome this is.
So we're a couple months out from the initial announcement of Invincible Versus. How has the reception been? Has it been, you know, surprising to you? Has it been, you know, what's your reaction to how the audience has responded to Invincible Versus?
It's been great. I mean, we're having a dialogue. There's all these obviously questions and things we can't answer yet, but also like really great feedback from like the audience, and they're like, hey, these are things that we want. Like, hey, as creators, can we have a mode where we can like disable the gore and stuff like that? And like, yes, you can. We're gonna put that in for launch, a creator mode. And then a lot of the hardcore is like, hey, where are our motion inputs? That's
I was
something
gonna ask about
that's
that.
a big deal to us. And I'm like, it's a big deal to us too, and we want to make sure that we prioritize that earlier. So we're like, hey, yes, we're gonna do those things. We have prototypes. We're hard, you know, working at that exact thing. That's how everyone has, you know, the way to play that they want. So it's really important to us. So yeah, great feedback. Keep it coming. We're always improving the game. Here on the show floor, you're playing pre-alpha, you know, games. So we want to hear everything. What you love, what you don't love. Just be raw and be honest, and we want to build this thing together.
What has it been like developing move lists for characters that are in, like, a part of a property like Invincible? Do you have to, you know, run approvals by Robert Kirkman? Like, is this something Invincible would do? How much do you look to the comics and the games for inspiration versus something that you think makes sense for a fighting game?
I mean, great question. A lot of the times it's like start with the essence of the character, and we want to be authentic in every way possible. And we have access to both Robert and the creative team that worked on the comics, but also the show. So we get to say like, oh, what would make a really awesome kit for this character? Like say for Rex. Like Rex is an a-hole, right? And so like, how do we express that?
Starts as an a-hole.
Hey, it starts as an a-hole, but he's our a-hole. He's lovable.
Yeah.
Like everybody loves Rex. So it's like, how does he express himself? He's very agile and acrobatic. And so we'll come up with a list of ideas and start to hone things in, and we'll run them by the creators. And a lot of the times they're like, oh, that's cool. I didn't think of that. Yeah, go with that. That's really awesome. Like the first time Robert saw Rex's ult, not gonna do it here, but the first
I love it.
The first time he saw it, he's like, oh my God, that's amazing. So yeah, it's like a really open relationship with the creative team, and we're allowed to be very creative and just push things. And as long as it feels authentic to the character, then it's kind of, you know, go for it. What's the best for the players and what's the best for that character, really? That's what it comes down to. Yeah.
So we've already seen a crossover in the world of Mortal Kombat with Invincible. Is that something that you guys are open to, you know, crossing over with other properties, fighting games? Is there a chance maybe that a Mortal Kombat character could get a guest spot in Invincible
I'd love to, Ed, if you're watching. I'd love to have a Mortal Kombat character in. Obviously, the world is open to possibilities, but I'd love for us to earn the right to do that. That's a storied franchise. I love Mortal Kombat. It'd be an honor to have anything associated with NetherRealm. They're awesome. I'm a huge fan. So yeah, I mean, nothing's, you know, out of the realm of possibility. I'd hope to do it in the future, but yeah, for right now, we're just focused on making the most badass superhero tag battle fighting game that is violent as hell.
When Killer Instinct first came out, it was released as a free-to-play fighting game. Was that something you ever considered with Invincible Versus, or what were some of the lessons that you took from that experience of making Killer Instinct a free-to-play fighting game?
Well, for Killer Instinct, it was kind of like, it was twofold, right? Like you could buy the characters that you wanted. There was like no rules, or you could get everything and just buy like basically the whole game and the whole first season. So it was like a dual model. It wasn't strictly free to play, but we wanted people to have options. But coming into this game and really understanding kind of like what our audience wants, it's like we wanted to give them a premium experience. So we wanted to be a premium title. So not free to play, but we do want to support the game in the long term. Things that we'll talk about later on, but yeah, like ideally we want to be a premium product.
So I kind of asked this question to Rip when I was able to interview him at Comic-Con, but what made Tag Fighter such an appealing prospect for Invincible Versus? Obviously, we're kind of in the Tag Fighter renaissance here. There's just so many Tag Fighters coming out, in the next year or two. What made you want to do Tag versus 1 vs. 1?
Really, I think it's, great minds think alike. I think that's why you saw this renaissance happening. But for me, when I saw it, like reading through the comics, and then obviously when the show came out, watching the show, there were just so many aspects of like team ups, like the Teen Team or the Guardians. Like there's all these different factions. And for me, just Tag Fighters are just so hype. There's so much creativity. It's about mixing and matching different archetypes in your kit so you find your play style. So it was super attractive. So I thought all those things blended so well together, especially with the level of violence. And I'm like, to me, that had never been seen before. And I'm like, that's the game I want to build. That's the game I want to play. And so that's kind of the genesis for us.
You have 6 characters that are playable here. Do you have kind of like a magic number that you like to hit for a starting roster of this game? Like, because obviously Tag Fighters, you kind of need to have more characters to fill up all the teams. Is there a magic number of what approximately you're trying to hit?
No magic number, and we're not like talking about how big the cast is right now. But for me overall, like I want to work on this game for years to come. So I want to get as many of my favorites into the game as possible.
Speaking of that, also, I noticed that there's unique interactions in the intros for each character. How was that whole process? Was it just a ton of work? Did you have multiple interactions per character mix up, or how does that work?
So a big thing to us was, for some people that haven't watched the show yet or not familiar with like Invincible, we really wanted to express the personalities of the characters. So we just looked for as many opportunities in gameplay or before or after gameplay where you could get to really know these characters, but they had to interact with each other. So it was really important that we'd have multiple lines recorded for like their point characters, their intros, their responses, their outros, when they clash, just different moments in gameplay where you really get a sense of who they are and what the stakes are for them. So like we were with Mike Rogers, our narrative director, like we need to have a shitload of lines and we want to really express all those things, and he was all in, and everybody's like, yeah, it just feels so good and refreshing, and it makes it feel more dynamic.
Speaking of narrative, can you tell us anything about?
Not at all.
No, not at all.
No teasers
what's going on with
no
the
teasers
story
yet,
mode?
but we are working with the creative team behind the show, and so we think it's going to be a fun experience. Nothing that we can talk about yet, sorry, but in the future.
So the sound effects are something I want to dive into, because I think when I first heard the game, I was like, oh, that's people who made Killer Instinct. What goes into making those crunchy sound effects that you use in Invincible Versus?
Oh, one human being, his name is Jason Bowers, basically like our audio director on the team. He really wanted to build like this pixel perfect, point perfect sound design to wherever you were on the screen, you knew exactly what was happening, what the type of impact was, really deliver, even when we don't visually go there, just the sounds of the parts and the things that happen. So like mentally you're there, you're like, oh wow, that was a huge bone crushing move. So it's really Jason, he's a powerhouse, and he really honed in and works hand in hand with design and animation on really delivering like those impacts and those moments. So it's really important to us that it just delivers above and beyond what your expectation is. So we really are focusing on that.
And then final question, what's just something that you're really excited for people to experience the first time they pick up Invincible Versus?
It's a fast game. It's a very fast game, but it's really the interactions between two players, like the reads, like getting into the combo system, seeing what it's like to do a heroic strike and to go right into an active tag, taking someone up in a big ass aerial combo, bringing them back down to earth, and then just crushing them with like an ultimate or a super. I think it's really fun, and just start playing with your friends, and then if you get a chance, come play with us here, or we'll see you in the future.
All right, well, Mike, thank you so much for your time. That's Invincible Versus, and we got plenty more coming from EVO 2025 right here on IGA.